Peace and love to the gods and the goddesses. I go by the name Black Poet. Act like you know it. And this is No PC Radio. And I'm rocking with starting left to right.
Kairos.
Dylan.
Sylvester.
You know what you should do? You should plug DC Visions, which is a great brand. It's one of the illest photographers in the city.
That's
You know what I want to say, but I'm not gonna say it. Tap in with Doug. I want to get right into the mess because I don't want to waste any time with it. The whole Charlie Kirk shit. See, I didn't watch his platform long enough to do what everybody else is doing and deem him as a racist. So everybody is saying, oh, Charlie Kirk is, a conservative. Anytime you vote red, anytime you lean right, cancel culture come out in full droves and try to get you up out of here. But I don't know, when I kind of see the little sound bites and the little things that he was putting out there, it just seems like he was challenging the status quo consistently, over and over and over again, whatever it was. Am I off about that?
No, I think he was challenging the status quo, but also you have to remember that they were just snippets. And so if you watch the entire thing of, like, for example, when they was trying to call him a racist, well, yeah, he may have hinted on the stereotypes that people were talking about at that moment, but when he would close, it would always be put into the right context or, saying something uplifting about it to challenge what they were initially saying. So they would take things, clips, and then position it as, oh, he's demonizing black people. But that wasn't always 100% true.
I said always. He said it wasn't always true?
Yeah.
So that means it was true in some instances.
Well, I saw a clip where he was talking about black on black crime, where he said the juxtaposition, when you look at the statistics between who kills who, there's obviously going to be more of us killing each other than the police do. Right. I'm talking about by about an 88-12 swing.
But he would also go on to say that in general, black people are more violent than other races. Like if you compare black people to white people or to Asians or to Hispanics, he would always harp on, we are the most violent out of all of the groups. And so I do think a lot of times I would say that he was very anti-black.
I have a question about that.
I wouldn't say anti-black.
I have a question about that because I don't give a fuck about his stances. Your skull is large. Can you move back a little bit? Thank you.
Okay. The fuck?
I have a question.
Don't worry about it.
Did you watch like 4 interviews or I'm not gonna say podcasts because that wasn't really his bag. It was though. So podcasts or debates, or did you see sound bites?
What I watched of Charlie Kirk is when he would go to the campuses, kind of like, unfortunately, the place where he was killed at, where he would go and students would come up and challenge him on his different viewpoints, and he would go back and forth with them. I think you kind of touched on that a little bit. So that's mainly what I watched. But I would watch like the full length videos. I wouldn't just watch like bites on social media.
I sure.
So I have a question. Would you say that you disagree that we are capable of being the most violent?
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I want to interject with that because I just had a conversation with somebody about that. The issue is that we're not looking at the impediments or the contingencies that revolve around why we would be the most violent race. So, for example, and I hate to sound
You're about to make a great point.
But the
Can you just imagine like it's 1,000 niggas right here and we don't have a mic and you're projecting to that degree, so I don't have to edit hard as fuck?
The issue is...
You just spoke in the same way.
Bro, shut your ass up.
Just,
nigga, let
just
me
a
talk.
little bit like, whoa, the real, you know what I mean?
The issue is that when you put a marginalized community in an area with other poisonous things, which is what a ghetto is in a sense,
right.
Then of course by default you're gonna get adverse effects. If I take 2 pit bulls and put food in this small room that the camera cannot see, do you honestly expect them to say, this food look good? They gonna rip each other's heads off.
Right.
And so of course by default we can say that a pit bull is more dangerous than a chihuahua.
Yeah, the ghettos were set up
That
on
is
purpose.
why I say that he's anti-black though, right? Because he'll say black people are the most violent, which, okay, maybe that's true, maybe it isn't, if we look at the facts, but he ignores what Dylan is talking about, which is like the systemic and the generational things that we've experienced. He's of the mindset of
A lot of
like,
people on the right do that. I'm glad you brought that up.
yes, and he's of the mindset of like, oh, well, that was forever ago, like just get up and,
Right,
do
yourself
whatever
up by
it
your
takes.
That's not
bootstraps.
realistic.
Right.
Because we're still dealing with generational effects.
You
Like if
talking
you look
about
at
the
Detroit.
shit, the shit didn't even really stop until post-crack epidemic, and that's just the 80s.
Yeah.
Right. So, and what tends to happen is when you tell people that it's not as easy, they take it as though we're not taking accountability for our actions, which is not the case at all. That's just saying you're gonna have a fast track start where I'm still starting from negative step 10. We trying.
Right.
But now you have a divergence in which, for example, crime is happening at a faster rate than the, what would you call it, rejuvenation of the black community by itself.
I don't know how true that is because there's so many people like a New Era Detroit or like these groups, these grassroots
Now.
organizations. Even before, they're just not. I was just watching a cat named Steve Coakley and I'm asleep.
Right, but
Like-
to the level and reach that they have compared to back then. You know what I'm saying? Like back then you had to be out in the streets.
So
like
is
you
it
couldn't
just-
get that same radio play or social media output. You couldn't get to the masses in the way that you can now. So yes, we had them, but trying to get to our people without interruptions, without them trying to tear us down, without them burning up our neighborhoods.
No,
you know what I'm
that shit
saying?
was
Like,
Steve.
exactly, but on a way worse level then than now. So yeah, New Era Detroit is able to step in and do what they can do now because we have certain provisions. I'm not saying it's perfect, but we have certain things in place where they can't just come and tear our shit down like they used to.
You don't think that there were unsung heroes back in the day that were on the same type of time?
They were, but what I'm saying is, could they get those
The
same
reach, the
things
exposure is
out?
better now.
Yeah, that they could in today. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't do
Ashe.
that back then.
And to recenter it, I don't give a fuck if Charlie Kirk was racist or not. I'm not emotional. A white nigga not liking blacks is not new.
Right.
Right.
I'm more so looking at the psyop, the psychological operation of shooting this nigga in the neck in front of the United States and for what it was done for and how no one's asking the question of how often are we going to allow them to commit public assassinations without any cry for justice? That's
Not to
essentially what
mention-
Candace Owens is on,
Not
right?
to mention, a sniper rifle, you have to be a very highly trained individual.
I
It's
mean,
not-
100%.
So obviously there was somebody who had some sort of military grade training to use that.
100%.
So,
But you
it's
also,
not-
That
you
shit was
also have to
perfect.
take into account
It was in what they said.
that-
Well, I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but the corduroy artery or whatever, he hit him directly.
He hit him
in
directly in it.
Whatever, they're both next to each other. Whatever it is that is your supply, your blood supply to your brain, hit him right in the jaw to immediately cut off consciousness. That's not some random 19-year-old. That's a patsy, like
Right.
Yeah, it's strategic.
Oswald.
Yeah, but this, I guess you could say like conservatives or people that kind of think like him, in a sense, these are the same people that advocate that we should have like civilians, people that don't even have military training, should have those types of guns just on
Why
the street.
wouldn't we? Because if you start to limit who owns what with the Second Amendment, we're naked to martial law.
It's tricky.
That's a phenomenon.
It's very tricky.
No, it's not. They put martial law down. They put the National Guard on people during the George
But this
Floyd
was
riots.
the purpose of
that happened. That was
The
real life. That
purpose-
wasn't a
The
conspiracy.
purpose of the Second Amendment was to defend ourselves from, at the time, right, you had the colonies and you had the British, they were coming over and they were using guns because the colonists could not have guns, but the British soldiers could. And they were using that to basically take advantage of the colonists. Like, we're gonna come here with a gun, you have to give me a house, you have to let me live here, you have to let
They
me
was
eat your
they was
food.
pimping them, right?
It wasn't for what it is now, for us to shoot and kill each
Right.
other.
Right.
But
and they-
without the right to bear arms in this state, in this climate, where we
And
know they're
exactly,
trying to
that
usher
part.
in digital ID and, taking over our bodily autonomy and all these different things.
And make you take medicine that you don't need.
forced inoculation. So it's just like, with all those things, if we don't
Have guns.
the means,
We're naked.
we are
it's
done.
done. It's a new
Against
KGB
guns. Let me
state.
be clear.
Right,
I'm not
okay.
against
I want
guns.
to ask you something that's very much on my mind because I can feel the heat.
Go
You're
ahead.
passionate about the topic.
Yeah.
How old are you and did you go to university?
I'm 26 and yes, I did.
Where?
Michigan State.
Okay, go ahead. That's not an indoctrination camp? Don't say that out loud.
Let it go.
But go ahead. Sometimes when people are very passionate, when they're very left or very right, instead of being centered, I'm curious to where they got their ideology from.
Yeah,
So is this something you felt just before you went to university, or is this?
I would say like after I graduated and I started to pay attention more to like politics and just learn more.
Ashe.
But I'm not against guns. I'll reiterate, I'm not against guns. I'm pro regulated guns, and I don't think that there are certain guns that people should not have.
Yeah, bro, because it's not.
You're not supposed to have rocket launchers.
Did you see the fucking gun that man had in Australia? That bitch was longer than this tripod. Why do you need that? Essentially,
I understand.
I want to make a very logical standpoint, right? To the point of martial law and all these
here we go.
individuals.
Because we clash a lot on this.
They're gonna take my guns. Let me finish this. They're gonna take my guns. Do you honestly think?
Yes.
They have guns with bullets that can literally trace your heat and kill you from around the corner. Do you really think that your guns can compare to the amount?
Yes, because we got more numbers than them. 99 is bigger than the 1%.
If the government wanted to seriously take you out, despite you having all of your guns, they could.
The 1% is not bigger than the 99.
I don't think that they want to take us out in its entirety, right? I think they want to limit our access, limit our control, limit our ability to just be able to overtake them. Any idea or any thought of us being able to stand up against them, I think they want to continue to break down that structure. So yes, if they kill us all, if they wipe us out, whatever, they don't have anything to control. And that's all they care about.
They don't have a consumer base. They don't have an infrastructure.
So they need us.
Is it such a bad thing for them to have things in place to where we can't overtake them? Because you don't want the people to be overtaken.
It should be limited. Government overreach is very real. It should be limited. Same as guns.
No,
in my opinion.
Expound on that. So you're saying that the citizens, and that's in the Constitution as well, should not be able to defend themselves against foreign and domestic?
No, they should. But to her point of us getting to the point where we're like overtaking the government, I think
hold on. This is no PC radio. My name is Black Poet. I am not an advocate for anarchy. This nigga trying to get motherfuckers assassinated.
Right. Disclaimer.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in the instance that they abuse the Constitution, the citizens should have a safeguard.
That's fair. If they're not going to give it to us, we have to sometimes have our own. So what does that look like?
But now that's a great point, but everything comes with a yin and yang. So now you have to deal with what we have going on now. And there's no way,
we don't have enough numbers for the regulation.
You have to, with this type of situation, you kind of have to accept what comes with the end of the sword.
Do we?
I would rather.
What else you gonna do?
I would rather the riffraff. First of all, you understand that they want that to happen, so they put people in the prison industrial complex. Second, I would rather the riffraff destroy each other, get them out the way. The scriptures say 2/3 won't survive anyway. So what? I don't mean to sound harsh, but if you don't understand why not to take life for your ego, maybe you're supposed to go so the rest of us can rebuild once you're gone.
That nigga just pulled a Charlie Kirk.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've never watched him, so if that's his ism.
That man literally said some people gotta die for us to keep our gun rights. Ain't got his, you feel me? So,
but that is true.
But that's why they did it though.
And I think they made an example. Thank you to bring it full circle.
They made a mockery of him
I think
in that moment.
I think that they made an example of him because the message he was putting out there, not only was he basically uniting the left and the right, the gay, the straight, the black, and the white, because he was asking questions and making people give whatever their ideology was, but he was also kind of challenging those that we can't challenge.
At least not publicly.
At least not publicly. How do I want to say that? No, I can't even come that. They got too much money. But when you talk about certain groups, and it's not the conspiracy thing. When you say Illuminati, no one cares because that is some big umbrella term that can't
has been
be
commercialized.
Yeah, it can't be attacked. It can't be targeted. What's the family? What's the Crest family? What's this? But when you start to say group names and surnames and
Yeah, when you get very particular.
very specific, a lot of people ain't alive.
Yeah.
Once they start doing that thing right there, and I think that's why that man was made into the modern day version of a public execution.
Can I say foreign entities on this?
Yeah, go do your thing.
Okay. So, because you said that he was saying certain things or mentioning certain people, and that got him off. But I'm not sure if we all saw the same conversation where he was denouncing foreign aid and certain cash from people who America is directly in alliance with. So,
For lack of better terms, we can call them the Federal Reserve,
okay. Yeah, so with that,
which is straight pimping the USA, where tax dollars
Right.
are going to.
but with
Everybody's a debt slave.
that, do you think that is really the bigger reason?
100%.
Okay, that's it.
When
That's
you-
all I want to know.
when
Is
you-
do you think that?
Because no one knows that. Smart people know that. But if a mass of people, see, I'm mildly sane. But if someone that had that rah-rah spirit that the Chicago cats have, knew that they were getting pimped by a bank that ain't even on this landmass across the ocean, it might lead to World War III if the right speaker can be the catalyst for the spread of certain information.
Right, which would make sense why they saw him as a threat.
The threat. Yeah. Now, was he racist?
Debatable.
Probably.
I think he was anti-black. I definitely.
But was
I
he
stand by that.
His prejudice.
challenging the 1%?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is why he was made an example of, because they could have got him off screen. Car explosion, what happened to him, we don't know.
Stop breathing.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
somewhere cardiac
They
arrest.
wanted a public display.
Exactly. To say nobody talk, don't broach this subject. Talk
Yeah.
about all that other stuff.
But not
And they
like,
couldn't
the
just text that
circuit.
nigga like,
And here's,
Bro, chill out,
you know,
bro.
you're segueing into the second part. So Candace Owens has a lot. I don't know how she's getting all these sources.
cool as
Yeah, we gonna get into that. I don't know how she got all these sources, but what he was saying was once he started talking about that, he got death threats, and he died. I want to say a day or two after.
We're talking about Charlie Kirk.
after
Yes.
rejecting going out to the basic brainwash, I don't even know what do you call it?
When you go get your what
Yeah.
Kanye just did,
Yeah, they were gonna go give him a full lecture on
which is just a
the
humiliation
Federal
ritual.
Reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did get those texts. They told him like, yo, hey bro, you want to chill out? He didn't
And
chill
he
out.
said
He kept
no.
speaking. He kept talking. Neck exposed.
But I think the reason that they made it so public, right? Because that video of that shooting, it was all over social media. We talked about his sound bites.
Right.
His audience was people like our age. We get our news from our phones, the social
Clips.
media.
It's the new newspaper.
And they knew
Yeah,
that if we
word.
did it like this, it would get to the audiences to make the point that you're saying of like, no, you're kind of overdoing it. We can't do this.
Okay.
Yeah, a public fear tactic.
Because now that you're talking about Candace Owens, who I watch a lot of her content as well, she has a lot of the same viewpoints, but she's a lot more PC about it.
She
I
has
think.
to be.
Yeah.
Why does she have to be?
Because if she's not, that, how can I say, that leads her to the direct situation that she is facing at this moment.
With
where
the French assassination.
Exactly,
Yeah.
where they are talking about taking this woman's life, and they don't even care.
I'm not even hip. I wish I could talk more on that.
She just basically exposed that there is a
An assassination attempt on her life right now.
Because she
Yeah.
claimed that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but she claimed that the wife of the French prime minister or something was was transgender, but isn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so they're like having assassination.
My
attempts.
only issue with
I
that.
love everybody on the planet.
My
That
only
one right
issue-
there is a dangerous subject.
It is dangerous, and I just kind of want to recant that statement a little bit, just to kind of.
It's allegedly true.
Right, that's alleged.
It's allegedly
It is
true.
alleged.
That's been.
But that's just what
the
I heard.
French know. French people know that 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
So this is not new. This is
But
not
it's
her.
the same
ism.
thing that happened with Michelle and Barack.
Oh hell no.
It's true.
Hey, look, look.
It's true.
Help me.
And I'm not saying that she is that. I'm not trying to predetermine anybody's
But there's
gender
information.
or sex at birth.
There's information out there that Michelle is allegedly Michael. I don't believe it.
Bro, please, Jesus Christ, dog.
But it's,
that's
but here's
racist
hold
ass,
on, hold on.
racist ass
But
antic.
the thing is,
Like, what-
if it's for the French president's wife, who is white, and then it's the same thing over here. Maybe it has nothing to do with race, and they're dealing
this
with
is what I was
high-level
gonna say.
esotericism.
That it's irrelevant. I feel like Candace overstepped with the information, true or false,
Yeah.
because it does not matter
So wait,
to the
what was the-
presidency.
what was
It
the-
doesn't
I wanna-
matter.
What was the? I'm sorry, I'm still trying to follow. What happened?
What doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter if the French president's wife is transgender. Why do we
Because
need to know that?
it pulls in her base of people that are against that, of her conservatives that are against that life.
But I get it.
But it could
are
be
you
empty and a distraction.
It's empty. It's like, are you so pressed on separating a group or, putting them out in such a negative light that you are willing to, quote unquote, expose somebody's personal information to that degree, that stature?
But all publicity, in a sense, is good publicity. People are paying
Is
attention
it?
to her. We're sitting here talking about her,
But
right?
if it was good publicity,
but
would
that's the
there
thing.
be a threat on her life?
Here's what I'm
That's
saying,
a good
right?
point, but it's getting her the clickbait that she needs. We're literally sitting here talking about her.
At the expense of her life.
And is it though?
She knew that,
because while we're having this conversation, we're not talking about off-grid living. We're not talking about agriculture. We're not talking about the things that would actually help our community. So are these things real or are they just distractions? When these big
think
stories
both.
hit the news, and that's what I'm saying.
I think it's both.
And I think with them specifically talking about Candace being married to British royalty, talking about Candace being married to British
I
royalty.
thought her man was Jewish.
I don't know if that's the case, but he's literally peerage. He's royal. Now he's not royal like somebody dies and he's the next king, but
So-
he's somewhere down all this baron and all
Can
that
I
other
walk
stuff.
you back to where you asked the question, or you stated? You said, I don't know where Candace is getting her information. And I've
She tapped
always
in.
wondered if it was a result of her husband being so connected.
100%.
That she's able to say these things
So
and not
yes.
care
Yes.
or not
Thank-
watch what she says.
I guess I want to ask you something. I don't want to get on Candace, but like, Bert, where are we at time-wise? Cool. I think that has some regime beef going on. I don't think all these people, just because from our lens, it's like, oh, that's the 1%. They hate everybody. I think these regimes want control. I don't think the British like the French. I don't think the French like the these and the that. That's cap. I think because they wouldn't be, all of these exposing type of things would not be happening with all of these people if they were tapped in.
It is a power thing.
I agree
100%.
too, because we're in this day and age, right? We're talking about it with Candace Owens, we're talking about it with Charlie Kirk. Anybody can sit, like we're sitting here saying anything, anybody can sit and say anything and put it on a platform.
Right.
And it's harder for governments to control people. So I feel like we're kind of at this inflection point where governments are used to having a lot of control, but they're kind of like, well, we don't really know how to do it now.
Yeah.
With the internet, it's over with. And the shadow banning thing, a lot of people don't like Trump, but Trump did get in office and make shadow banning essentially a violation. When Trump
it
and
goes against the
Zuckerberg,
amendment.
when Trump and Zuckerberg got together, they said no more shadow banning. And Zuckerberg went on Rogan and said, yo, I got threats to be put in jail if I did not ban certain people from saying certain things. So you're talking about high level propaganda and control of freedom of speech. So I'm not on
Not
Trump's.
just that, but intentionally falsifying information to control the narrative, which they have been
Fact
doing for a
checkers.
long
Yeah.
time. But when it mattered, they
100%.
did it.
So I'm not on Trump's dick, but I appreciate that. I appreciate him going, yo, we not about to ban people off the internet for
Yeah.
giving an opposite opinion. And I want to move off that because, yeah, look, I don't care, but damn, y'all didn't opened up a can of worms. I have a question. You probably can be the only person that can answer it. Do you think Erica Kirk is playing her role, or do you think
Or do I think?
They talking about she came on stage like, but you finished the fight.
See what I'm saying? Do you think she's playing a role, or do you think she's a puppet, or do you think she's in on it? I can't imagine if she was a handler, she was placed there on purpose.
I'm going to try to be the most objective I can when answering this question.
It's bad optics. I'll say that.
It is. But if I am being objective, I think there's a possibility for all three. Because for one, she's trying to fill very big shoes of her husband, and that is hard to do.
100%.
And I heard Candace when she said that, you know, in these type of situations, you normally would put a temporary CEO in place. You wouldn't just jump in that position, especially when you're grieving, you're going through things, you taking over a new company, you're trying to get things situated after something so massive. So she's put in this position where it's like, she's doomed if she doesn't, and she's doomed if she do. Because if she's in the public immediately speaking, oh, she's being fake, she didn't even take no time to grieve. Well, she did take that time. She did step away, and now people are still accusing her of the same shit. She doesn't care. She's a plant. So where does Erica get the grace or the room to adjust to this new thing when people have pre-planned expectations of her? They want her to just answer every question that fuels whatever is going on for their ideology, for what they believe in. Is that fair to her?
Yeah, that gets into the public figure thing. I think
That's what I'm
celebrities
saying.
can't breathe in this era.
She doesn't get the space or room to just be human. She has instant expectations on her.
So I can't speak on her position or the shoes that she fills in general, because quite frankly, I'm still not educated on the whole Kirk thing. But I can say in general, when you do fill positions, even from a business standpoint, that's just what comes with it. And that's why you have to have...
But it's not
if it went down to her.
It ain't easy, but you gotta have grit and tenacity to see it through. And that's where being able to have problem-solving skills, being able to have attention to your burnout comes in, and that's where ultimately delegating comes in, because you can't do everything by yourself.
Gotcha.
But unfortunately, and even so, to some may say fortunately, that's the shoes that she may have agreed to or not agreed to fill in, so that's just what comes with it.
My ism on that, I just want to say,
right.
I don't think that I don't believe she's a handler, but I do think she's a puppet. I think there are very powerful people behind her telling her how to move.
But that's in any campaign, any
And
presidency,
I don't
any
know
power
if she
seat.
knows that. It looks
She
like,
probably know that.
she's saying things and it almost looks like she's acting, and she's a bad actress.
I
them
get
Batista
it,
fireworks.
but
That's crazy
public
as fuck.
affairs-
Hey, yo, if I go back to the Most High, y'all niggas come out, dun, 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 with the Kirk music, nigga. Hey, yo, I'm about to haunt the
God,
whole
hey,
shit.
but
Lights about to, you mean?
Side note,
But that's
please
just
have
part of
fireworks
PR.
at my funeral.
And it
for real.
is, and that's
That's nice.
election, that field is still entertainment, but I just think that was a little
That was
tasteless.
because I ain't gonna lie, did she really have to come out to fireworks? Full-blown fireworks.
I mean, why not?
What the fuck? I mean, full-blown wrestler Randy Orton fireworks. Bro, I gotta pull that shit up.
That's the
why-
Hollywood part of it, though. They just put on the show.
I'm gonna wheel up that because we ate all of it. What do I want to do with this? I want to escape. Probably get a take and a take and a take per minute. I was talking about the propaganda machine and how it beguiles people to such a degree it splits the spectrum. So everything is identity politics. You vote left, you can't fuck with people on the right. You're very pro-black. You can't understand the mindset of a white nationalist, and I don't think that gets. Basically, I think that they're putting it out there again, so the 99 never challenges. Hey, yo, wait, let's all slow down. Why is it that we can't legally collect rainwater? So, when you look at the Board of Education from K to 12 to university, have you ever just walked outside and tried to have real conversation with people and realize how absolutely fucking stupid they are?
Yeah, it's because of this shit.
It's because of the propaganda. It's the entertainment industry. It's the social media. It's the
social
school
engineering.
system. It's social engineering. Exactly, that's the term. And is there a way, and that's my question, is there a way to reverse that? Or do you just kind of move away, go off grid,
You
deal with the
can't
people
reverse it.
who understand and discern through it? or do you try to wake them
You
up?
ever heard of hard shells?
Hard shells, no.
Like your old heads, your people who are just uncanny. They are diehards about whatever they believe.
Yes.
Now imagine propaganda so strong, a machine so systemic, so just in place and rooted that from your youth to your old heads, that's what's happening. And then ask your question about whether or not you can change it.
I don't know.
I would argue it's a little too late, just because if we're saying like the phones or the internet is what messed it up, we're so far into that, it's just too late. I mean,
That's just, not to cut you off, that's just a more exacerbated version of the same thing. Because
Okay, well, I guess that kind of, the next thing I was
taking
gonna
shit
say
with newspapers.
is like we have a generation of kids now that are in the K-12 that don't know a life without phones and social media and
Ashe,
getting false information
way
and
worse.
seeing all this
Yeah.
crazy stuff
With
on
this AI
YouTube,
shit, man.
getting exposed to stuff that I mean, I'm not sure how old everybody is, but at least me at 26, like a lot of the stuff these kids are getting exposed to in elementary, middle school, we didn't see that until we were at a good enough age to understand it.
Man, because I just told you, I went on my phone literally less than 20 minutes ago and showed you somebody getting stabbed. Why am I able to see that?
You know what's crazier is that I realized that you could be thinking
Sorry,
about
my sense of humor
something
is dark.
or whatever you have on your mind that you could say something out loud and it can kind of come back to the whole we're being monitored thing. But there is a structured
No, they was
way
spying on
of
niggas.
showing
Eric's know that.
people things. They know what they want to plant on you. They know what they want to plant on each and every one of
You
us
be
sitting
trying to
here.
fast on the semen retention tip, and it's the thick chick.
And they're gonna
Oh,
show
no.
you that on purpose to walk you back into a certain mindset.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think the biggest issue outside of that, I think the biggest issue with education today would be No Child Left Behind.
Oh my God.
I've heard that spoken about in many political spaces, but I've never heard it.
Who was that
expounded on.
governor? Who was that?
I think
before
Bush.
Gretchen?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Well, I
yeah,
think
expound.
it might have been Granholm,
It was Graham.
but
What is it?
I think it was at the same time as Bush, which Granholm was the governor. But basically, No Child Left Behind is pretty much if you're in school and you're not meeting the marks to like pass on to the next grade level,
pushing.
it goes on to the parents, and the parents can decide whether to keep moving you forward or to hold you
Yeah,
back and
hold you
repeat
back.
that grade. But the problem becomes a lot of times parents aren't going to want to do that,
Yeah.
and it puts the kids at a disadvantage because
So you get passed, but you
you
But
don't
you're
learn.
not ready.
And learning builds on each other, and once you get to like 3rd, 4th grade, if you can't read,
Yeah.
you're never going to learn anything.
was that our
That was our era.
wow.
Yes,
Then
that's
you're
why I said
actually
Governor
gonna get
Granholm.
left behind.
Because they say once you hit, I think
Ironically.
3rd grade, you like preschool up to 2nd grade, you're learning how to read. Once you hit 3rd grade, you read to learn.
Niggas ain't
So if
grade
you can't read by 3rd
And
grade,
this was a good ad. This
Yeah.
brother dropping the knowledge
you're
up here.
behind.
Like,
Lost.
Yeah,
You're
you
very
don't have
behind.
that head start that you need.
you're very behind. If you can't, like I was actually just, now that you bring up school, I was actually just talking to one of my friends, and I'm like, if you up at school, if you don't have like reading and math skills by the time you graduate high school, you
a
honestly
wrap.
shouldn't even go to college.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be behind the curve, and it's
Yeah.
going to affect you for the rest of your life.
Especially if you're going in debt.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother topic, but.
There's I only got. I want you on that, but let me say, so I've been dealing with a lot of so much synchronicity, so many reverberations of understanding metaphysics lately. I think the answer to all this shit is going within, connecting with the Most High, and doing exactly what the Most High is telling you to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's
People
very
make, but we make it a religious or a dogmatic thing. Metaphysically, your spirit is strong enough to change the mind. If your frequency is very high, you can change the mind of anybody that's vibrating low, because 2 + 2 is always 4. So if you're eating GMO food, and I show you, hey, eating this does this to your cells. If I show you that in a diagram and you eat it any way you want to die.
Yeah, but why do what's righteous when I can create chaos?
What?
That's not me saying that. I mean,
but yeah,
you gotta
expound.
you gotta understand. So like, you said something about propaganda a couple topics ago, but as I mentioned before, market segmentation is a real thing.
Market segmentation. A
I'll
market
give
segment.
you a great example. Black lives matter. Black lives been mattering since Jim Crow, slavery. I don't need to say the obvious.
George Soros with the bullshit, but like, what is a segment of marketing?
So now when you're able to segment a group or a certain demographic, you're able to make more money off of that group.
You compartmentalize and
So whereas you could have one group that can do one thing, and then I say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna throw some GMOs over here. So now I got the Eastern and the Western
How
science.
would they know?
And now you can say, you know what? Let's promote vegan. I remember when the vegan market came out and everybody was like, oh, I'm vegan, I'm eating mushrooms.
And everybody can't even do that.
Now you got the niggas talking about, well, fuck that, we carnivores, we eat meat. Now you have different brands like Tyson saying, oh, we got 15 grams of protein in our meat. And now you got the vegan company saying, well, our shit is, I don't know, halal or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is when you're able to separate a group, you make more money off
So when you do targets like that, how do they know it's gonna work or do they just test it out?
They use market research.
Yeah,
You use
Market research on groups.
So that's why I tell people,
But I'm saying, if you got a new thing, how would they know that it's going to work, or are they freestyling and risking their money because they're rich?
well, it's a lot of different ways you can answer that. You can go off a precursor. I can say, well, if I go off a brand that doesn't promote a lot of protein in their protein bars, I know that Dylan's protein bar on the front of it is going to say 25 grams of protein. Despite it having 1,000 milligrams of sodium and all the other unhealthy shit, you're only going to focus on that. So I've already created a division for people who are healthy versus not healthy, just off of putting 25 grams of protein on the front of the cover.
Segments,
Who the
but
fuck
really
reads nutrition
targeted.
Which is why I say in general, when you talk about propaganda, when you talk about LGBTQ+, right? I said that right? Yeah, them, the transgenders, the blacks, the whites, the left, the rights, none of that truly matters because it's all a gimmick ultimately to get more money.
cheese.
Yeah,
If you look at how much money has been poured into these nonprofit organizations and where they go afterwards, you will truly start to see that a lot of this shit people don't give a fuck about.
That and
They're
Well,
not.
that's
They're
'cause the
not.
companies
It's
get
a
tax
fake battery in the back.
incentives for donating to nonprofits.
They're
They don't
gonna
care.
come back to your whole approach about the capitalism and the economics and the Department of Defense and how many dollars actually go into that and how they really don't care.
I wish I could speak on that because I actually work for
you
DOD.
know, like the army
Thanks.
situation.
I really wish I could.
And it's really just. to
But
get
just
more
know that
people
there is a lot of money
It's a lot.
spent on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Astronomical.
Sir.
That's why we're a war economy. We have to be. We thrive on it.
But
That is
a
our money.
friend-
That
I
is
have
our
in
money.
the military-
And we're the military aspect of the world power.
Correct. And a friend I have that's actually in the military, because I was explaining to him, I don't think we should spend this much money on defense.
shouldn't.
And he was like, well, it challenged my thinking. He was like, well, you can walk outside and not have to worry about
Anything.
a foreign
So,
country coming and bombing your
can
city
I
or a
just-
terrorist coming and
Can I
attacking
say
you.
this? We always are on this fake woke shit, protesting about this, that, and the third, but everybody has an iPhone, and we know that's child labor. So we're very much benefiting
The code.
from
Wow.
Thank you.
the war economy.
I'm so fucking
And
happy.
we're acting like we're hyper righteous.
I'm so
Yeah,
fucking happy
exactly.
you said that. I'm so happy you fucking said that because I had somebody try to get on, and you know who you are. You tried to get on my ass.
Not the
about 3
personal
months-
call out.
About 3 months ago when I posted a picture with Target in the background. And it was like, oh, you still sharp at Target?
That's crazy. You might have just been chilling in the cut.
Bro, because the same people, you talk about propaganda.
Fake woke.
The same fake outrage individuals
trend and just open your mouth.
went to Starbucks, just ate at Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
just shopped on Amazon, is currently typing on Meta, Facebook, and Instagram, and every one of them motherfuckers was front row at Donald Trump's inauguration. So
I say.
please, do not ever come at me talking about, you still shop at Target.
A lot of
All
people,
right.
a lot of people are sheep, man. They follow whatever the trend is. They don't have no voice, no reason for doing what you're doing.
Following is just a current, and like a current, it fades away when the energy stops moving with it.
Yeah.
The whole point of bringing the propaganda and talking about how to change it, I think when they talk about, a lot of people is getting trendy to talk about fifth density into the third dimension. All that means is taking the spirit into the physical. But to do that, you really do have to fast, and you have to be very serious about what you know you're called to do. Everyone knows what they're called to do from a very young age, but they don't take it serious until something traumatic happens and they realize, oh shit, this life shit is not a game. You're not gonna be here forever. You have to be on point about why you're here. So all that metaphysical shit, all that new age shit, it's really not that deep. Listen to your inner voice, understand intuitively the message you've been getting since you were young. You've been wanting to do art since you were 10.
Like younger than that.
And that's when I met you. You manifested it into a business, but the point is, you've been a creative from birth. So if everybody is listening to their inner voice, we gonna naturally fix all this shit. Because the 1% is not stronger than God consciousness.
At all. But when you have, to your point, government engineering, social engineering.
But people are weak. Just stop being a bitch.
It's also nature versus nurture, right?
There you go.
If you're talking about, let's just use art as an example. If you're a kid and you're interested in art, well, that's your nature. That's naturally how you were probably born. But then nurture comes into effect because there are a lot of parents that'll be like, no, because you're gonna grow up to be a starving artist. And so now and it's not just art, it's other things too. So people start suppressing what they were naturally wired and called to do.
You start being trained to be an individual instead of just being who you naturally are.
Correct.
Yeah, fighting that. That's
when the government
but that
engineers
happens to more than half the
It
population.
happens to all of us in some way. Have
100%.
Nurture has suppressed something.
You have to get to a
And you
point
have
where
to bring it back
you fight.
when you get, when you become an adult. That's when you
The
start
external universe
coming
can't be
back
more
to it.
important than your
Especially
your,
as black
your inner
people.
voice.
Oh, you're black. Black people don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I just was watching something on that recently, but that's another
That nigga
subject.
sound the Boondocks. Did I just catch you trying to be some shit?
Yeah.
Right.
So if you, I heard Daylight talk about that. He was like, if you real smart, you into tech or you one of these different things, you'll get teased. But at the same time, those are all the billion-dollar industries. So who's the real fool?
And growing.
Ashe. And it's not even. That's not even the peak. We just coming into this
Yeah,
on
this
the
shit
cold
finna get
tip.
scary, bro.
All right, let's sell some merch. Diddy. Let's drop the frequency down. All I want to say about Diddy is I just don't feel like it's fair that they singling him out. They won't release the Epstein files. They're not talking about cats like Roman Polanski. They're not talking about anybody from other ethnic groups that are doing the same thing, but somehow he's a target. And we know it's because he tried to sue Ciroc. But it's like, damn,
Why
like,
did he do that, bro? Listen,
Diddy was a freak. He had a bunch of
please
orgies.
forgive me if it's some shit that I don't know
But that's
about.
not
But
illegal.
it sounds like Diddy was just a freaky ass nigga, just like all of us. And I mean, like for real, bro. We
Maybe
all,
not to that extent.
We all would look at each other and be
but
like,
we don't got
damn,
the
bro, I
cheese to
wouldn't
do
do
what
that,
you
or
do.
you would. But it's like, nigga, who ain't used some baby oil before? Like, what?
Yeah, but that's why. But I feel like the people can disagree with me on this, but I think his judgment in the court of law was fair, because at the end of the day, I'll explain. So at the end of the day, right, as I'm like hearing these stories, and I just watched the Netflix documentary.
Before the documentary, what did you think?
Even before the documentary, I said, he's gonna get off on this. He's gonna get a slap on the wrist, because I'm willing to bet money that the majority of stuff that was going on in these freak-offs was consensual, which is not against the law. If they're all adults, that is not illegal. The only thing they got him for was the traveling, because you can prove, right? You need proof beyond a reasonable doubt. You can use airline tickets, gas, mileage, whatever,
if
to
I
prove
bring
that you
my
travel
bitch
with
out,
people.
Right.
Yeah.
To have a threesome, that's not illegal.
That's not illegal.
Bringing your child, you said?
my bitch, my girl, my
your girl.
my,
I was like, what?
not my
Yeah.
main, but like my jump off. To have a threesome, that's not illegal.
And so, yeah, like bringing it back to the documentary, he probably did do some dark things.
Now, here's why I think he's getting spiritual karma for all them fucked up contracts and all them royalties he didn't get.
killing
Jada
Biggie
Kiss.
and shit.
Man, I don't think he bodied Biggie. That was the LAPD.
Right.
But I'm saying he was a shit businessman. He robbed mad niggas. I'm talking about a million.
What was it? Making the band?
Yeah, it was a dude. He was a dude from Making a Band that said, we made that album, Day 26. A dude from Day 26 said, we made that album, made millions of dollars. We ain't got shit. That shit with the Diddy's kids. He put his children, when they were like under 5, as the executive producers on that album. So the royalties went to his kids and not to the people who made the music. That nigga Diddy is evil. Fuck Diddy.
And if
I'm
you
not
have good
defending
lawyers,
Diddy.
you
But
can walk around it to do things that are illegal, to where they can't even like really take you to court for stuff like that. So,
wow.
and that is
See,
why,
that's karma. That's karma. People think they can
was
get
the
away
other
with
fine
shit.
a lot of
print,
people
though.
don't know why a lot of the things that are going on are not criminal cases, they're lawsuits, because they're not illegal.
So, lock that nigga up.
Right, so they're
for some
going to
bullshit.
court, but they can't.
My nigga was
really
just
do
freaky,
anything.
They
bro,
can't
like-
get criminal, they can only recover damages, because it's not illegal to have somebody have a sex party for 3 days.
It's 50 on the side of the system to make a bag. I'm not. I fuck with
think
50.
50 is trying to
but
make a bag.
He's trying to get some
He's
money.
capitalizing off the
smart.
moment.
And he's not.
He a
He ain't never
troll,
fucked
I
with
mean,
Diddy.
Whether
but
they
like,
actually have beef or not, that's irrelevant. He's capitalizing
smart
on a
man.
moment.
Yeah,
He
he
is
get
because
capitalizing, yeah.
I literally I was on my sister's Netflix account. Then they changed that whole like, oh, you can only have certain amount of household stuff. So I literally spent money and got my own Netflix account so I could watch the Diddy documentary. So I'm a part of the problem, I guess.
Yes,
But
you are.
50% is capitalizing on a moment.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, and I think people's real adversity with that situation is just that they feel like 50 is making a mockery
Tap
or
dancing and
or
cooning.
turning, blackness
Because he
into
could
a
have. Why not? Well, same thing
caricature.
when Oprah went after Michael Jackson, but didn't go after Kevin Spacey. Why is it like? It seems like the industry picks a witch hunt per year.
Yeah.
So why not go after the whole? If you have a problem with sexual abuse, go after everybody, man, woman, or child. Why is it always the black man that's the face of sexual predatory behavior?
I get it, but again, that brings me back to why people are upset with 50 because they like you are playing
Yeah.
into a predatory space on our people.
I say.
Like you know they want this. You know that
And I
the
fuck with
system
50,
is,
like-
you know that they are incentivized to blow us up and exaggerate
100%.
what we are.
On the it was an old caricature of the black. They redid it with LeBron James and that white girl. You seen that magazine? You know what I'm talking about. But like, essentially, it's an ape in the white one. It's King Kong with the white woman, and they had LeBron James repose. I'm sure he didn't know, but it was a caricature, and they mock us
Yeah.
as we're animalistic people that can't control our sexual urges.
Yeah.
It's a violation.
And you
It
get
is.
paid to do that.
Yeah, he got a fat ass bag to do it. On an entrepreneurial tip, I respect him because he's very smart. The industry tried to blackball him twice, and he kept winning. But now it's looking like he's been invited into the room.
But see, but this is the problem we're dealing with. It's like, okay, it's okay if they do it, but then when we do it, it's like, but it's us. You know what I'm saying?
Expound. When they do
It's like, okay.
Playboy? At the Playboy
For
Mansion?
example, that's a good example, but let's say, like, if white people are turning us into a caricature.
yeah.
Thank you. And it's like, okay, they do it all the time. For example, let's say, and what was it, Aunt Jemima? Y'all know the
yeah.
Slave. Wait, hold up. The chick from the syrup was a slave?
Yes.
from
For real?
From
Yes.
and
Tied to the
but then
table.
white people are behind that. That's not us. But
Hey,
they,
America, for real. Y'all playing.
But you get what I'm saying? It's like they do it all the time. So it's like, how are we punishing a black man when he does
Y'all
it?
It's
sold
about power.
us.
It's about power and control, right? I'll take it all the way back. The first time I can remember, at least in my lifetime, that there has been I call it like the takedown of the billionaire black man, it would start with Bill Cosby. This started when I was like maybe at the end of high school. They only came after Bill Cosby when he tried to buy share in ABC.
NBC.
Oh, thank you. That's when all of the stuff happened with him, right? So they want us to be their caricatures and, to look
Until
good.
we start
but
to do
once
too
we
much.
get to too much power,
Michael was
they
Sony.
Well, yeah,
know
Michael was Sony.
that we take over. Look at sports, right? They integrated sports. We dominate NBA, NFL, anything we get into. If we get too much power and control, we dominate. And they're not going to allow that because the media, that is a powerful industry to be in.
It is.
It's a lot of power. It's not, sports is powerful with money, I guess, but it's not the same level of power that media.
That's
You're literally
international.
sitting there
International.
influencing what people think and what people consume,
Ashe.
and they don't want our people to have control over that. They want to control us. They want to control the music we put in our communities, what we're showing our communities on the TV. They don't want us to have power in that. So that's why they're taking down P. Diddy. That's why they
Prince
took
with Warner.
down Bill Cosby, and that's why they took down R. Kelly as well.
That shit is never gonna
Oh,
stop.
I'm biased on that one, but I mean,
R.
I get it. I
Kelly
believe
ain't
it.
shit,
I believe
but
it.
he won
Yes.
100.
Say that.
He was wrong
Say
for
that.
what he
But he
did.
didn't.
Okay.
He
But
did
he
not
still
have.
won. It's
This
about
is how you
two
know.
But I get it.
Two
Two
people
things can be
you-
true at the same time.
This is
Absolutely.
how you know that documentary was some bullshit. The bitch said, I was stuck and couldn't leave. But he took me to the mall. Now, if you got me kidnapped and you take me to the mall,
Right. Making a scene.
People,
No,
but
that makes
people,
sense.
People will disagree with that, right? Because again,
I'm
back
so
to the
afraid.
P. Diddy documentary.
We was 15 once, ain't nobody stupid.
The one juror, the older like Indian guy, he was like, well, they all could have just left, but some people would disagree because a lot of times
Come
it's
on, my nigga,
mental.
stop.
It's like
that
a
shit
mental
is propaganda. That's what I'm saying. Some people are fearful like that, but we got heart. Look, it's not. It's oh so many times
Well,
you
it
about to.
depends.
You're not pimping me and then taking me to the mall. If you take me to Fairlane after keeping me in your basement for 3 months, I am on
just
Jesse
mental.
Owens shit.
It's
It just
mental.
depends.
It's a
because
mental.
I feel
You can weaponize victims. So let's say, like, bribery is a form of weaponization.
How many personality types on this in this country do you think that is? How many people are gonna get? We're not gonna take it. How many times are you gonna spit on somebody before they go, oh hell no?
But there can be trained, like how do I say it?
Children, yes.
No. Even for adults, a weak mind is not just congruent to children.
I'm not rolling, but I'm gonna let you have it because
But
you're
I'm just
passionate on your
saying,
taste.
it's true.
So they was getting tricked on, basically, is what you said.
What do you mean?
You said Diddy took him to the mall.
No, that was R.
R. Kelly took him to the mall.
R. Kelly, basically, R. Kelly just had a harem. He had a hub of bitches.
Yeah.
And some of them were older, some of them were underage, but they weren't being held against their will. They were consensual relationships. R. Kelly was so wicked, he would go to states where the 14 shit was legal or 16 was legal, like Virginia and this, that, and the
Nasty ass
third.
nigga.
He was just a wicked nigga. He has a lust demon on him.
What about Hugh Hefner?
Exactly.
I mean, same shit.
But it's
But
to
he ain't-
rob him of his catalog. Them bitches was not stuck in no dungeon eating plates of shit like TMZ reported. That's a violation.
But he kept them on a leash.
Look,
It's mental.
at 14 years old, if Anne Hathaway, as bad as she is, if Anne Hathaway, as bad as she is, got me in a dungeon at 14 and she take me to Fairlane, I'm running as fast as I can. I just don't believe that many people are that weak. Not to the 30 ball. 30 people.
I disagree. If you can go on social media and be influenced in a matter of seconds, you could say that people aren't that weak when you are dangling something potential in front of them that you'll never give them just to keep them where they are.
You talking about money and power. How much money and power? If I'm
Did he?
around,
How
if
much
I'm,
money and
but
power
think
did
about
he
it.
have?
If Anne Hathaway take me to the party, I'm not just gonna see Anne Hathaway. I'm gonna see J-Law. I'm gonna see J-Lo. I'm gonna see all of them, and I'm gonna start
at the party,
fighting.
but behind doors, what are you being promised?
I don't give a fuck.
Wasn't
J-Lo
there
over
some
there.
ladies who came out on R. Kelly's little documentary. What was it? Surviving R. Kelly, and they said like we chose to be here.
Yes. The 18 and 19-year-old, one of them
They
flipped
said,
and one of them didn't.
Yeah, one of them was like,
A lot of
we,
it was
we literally
consensual.
chose to be here.
And let's get
I'm
into.
not saying it's not a choice. I'm just saying that you can be mentally weak and controlled by bribery.
And I appreciate you representing it for the females, because I said I was going to give you that space, and I don't want to overtalk you. I want to get into the relationship. I want to get into the relationship thing, because I do think that was
Okay, we moving on.
the empathy part of you speaking, because of.
But not just the women.
Victimization.
Men were taken advantage of too. It wasn't
Oh
just
yeah,
women.
100%. Because well, in Diddy's case, Diddy was
That's
on
what
that.
I'm saying. He was promising
But
people
those was
the world.
prostitutes. Those was male prostitutes.
But he was giving
You
them
can't-
a dream.
And why Cassie ain't got
taking
no case?
advantage of them.
If Cassie was partaking in the prostitution, which is illegal in America, getting pissed on, I can't even post that, getting urinated on. Where's her case?
Are you getting pissed on for $5 million? Probably.
Hell no. I don't need
But
$5
you
million
can't
that
speak
bad.
for
I
her.
ain't gonna lie, if a girl pissed on me for $5 million, I'm gonna do it.
Some women stay in abusive relationships because the money is right.
It's no question.
Yeah,
bro.
and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
That's what
Like,
I'm saying.
especially people in positions like
You got me
Cassie
fucked up.
or
I
like
give my own
Justin
$5 million.
Bieber.
Fuck that.
Their whole families back home are reliant on whatever they got going on.
Exactly.
I'm not touching it with a
become a
10-foot
star
pole.
or else. And
Can I
by
touch-
any means possible. Or there wouldn't be no such thing as Illuminati. Or, you know, dare I say the Grove, all these things.
Let me say it like this, though.
Wouldn't be no giving up your soul.
Because I vibrate on a frequency that I vibrate on and meet a lot of people who have very strong spirits, I'm unaware of the weakness of flesh. I don't know how many
And that's
people.
a beautiful thing.
I don't know how many
But
people would
outside of
succumb to
you-
that. That's very fair. I just don't believe that many people would succumb
And
to
I-
manipulation.
And I
disagree.
believe that
And
you
that's
would
fair.
be
That's
fairly
fair.
surprised.
Yeah.
It's 7 billion people on here. I don't pretend to know everything about humanity and psyche. I just think that's some bullshit. Ayesha Curry thing and how jealousy in relationships is not ever talked about. Because I don't think it's what she was talking about when she's saying, yo, I'm married to Steph Curry, $300 million up.
And I think, was it like Good Morning? What's the little show with Jennifer Hudson and them on Saturday? Or Whoopi Goldberg and them?
Oh, The View.
I think it was The View, but she was on some show. This is just an example. And some niggas came out with like, was it some food or something with no shirts.
Was this after the separation? She was.
They separated?
Okay, I thought they separated.
I don't even know. Married is married. I don't know where that. You feel me? Like,
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, like, it ain't no. It's like, so you feel me? Shorty, they came out shirtless. And she was like, she joked around, acting like she was gonna take her ring off. But it's one thing for you to do that when it's just y'all two. But to do that shit on public TV, guys.
That's embarrassing.
That's beyond embarrassing.
Yeah.
300
And
million,
it's disrespectful.
300 million, the best shooter all time. He go touch $1 billion before he touch 50. And you mean to tell me you can't hold that shit down for a second? You can't even fake it.
Right, can't even fake it, yeah.
You can't please a bitch for shit.
I get it. She was trying to joke in front of her peers, but it was the wrong time.
Bro, like, but that's why you got, and maybe I should say this for the camera, but that's why you got barbershop talk, salon talk. Me versus it's gonna be some shit you will never hear. It's gonna be in the barbershop discussion. It's some shit you just never go hear.
I agree.
And there's some shit we never go hear. We all in the salon and the nail shop, girl. Yeah, shit. I heard
Because we know.
I heard he got 4 kids and they secret. They the baby mama in Spain. We never gonna know about that.
Yeah.
And it's just some shit like, yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro took down 4 hoes, caught AIDS. You never gonna know that outside the barbershop.
Yeah, you could.
Let's just keep it there.
Yeah.
Nah, she out there for that shit.
To say.
You could do that shit with your peers, gang. Don't
camera.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Do that shit with your peers, bro. Don't be embarrassing me on the worldwide net, nigga. Like everybody in this bitch, it's Stephen Curry. I could see if it was like Tony Snell, nigga. Like, goddamn.
What am I doing? Women
Ayesha
ain't
Curry.
shit.
Wow.
Women, Ayesha Curry.
Sir,
You're a lady. You're not these bitches
I'm
in the
a
streets.
woman.
You are a woman by gender, but there is a difference between a low vibrational woman that I would call a bitch
Okay, gotcha.
and a lady that carries herself
Okay,
with
yeah, I am so
class.
toxic.
And
I
yes,
got you.
exactly. Ashe. I'm glad you know that ism. Wow. Getting into the Ayesha Curry thing, a lot of people, especially in the manosphere and the red pill community, say that she ain't shit because she's basically making it seem like she wants other men. But I think it's very fair to say that you can be insecure if you're the lesser in a relationship with a person that's not only more famous than you, has more status and exposure and get more attention from the opposite sex, but has way more money and status and everything else. And people don't like to admit that because it makes them look like they're bad. You know, you want to support, sibling rivalry is a thing for a reason. Solange came out and said it, Madonna's sister came out and said it. Yo, I'm the younger sibling, trying to win in the industry that my oldest sibling already won in, and nobody thinks I'm gonna succeed in it because that's the pinnacle. And it's the same thing in relationships. And it's natural, it's fair. I've been in relationships where I've been envied for how I am on stage or the charisma I carry. Mm-hmm. And I've been in relationships where I've seen like, okay, she might be one of them ones.
Right.
And you feel it. And it is what it is, and you have honest conversation about it. So I had a lot more empathy with it because I don't know, down to earth or some shit like that. Like I don't judge when I hear somebody's isn't. Now, was she doing a little too much when she took the ring off on The View? To your point?
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. But I do think that's real, and I think if people were more honest about how that insecurity can play, it's even people who you might know your partner might be a little colder than you on the physical tip. You know you kind of got her or him because of something else, and they're not shallow. But if you look at you and look at them, you go,
I'm a lucky ass nigga.
It is real, and the women do it too, and they know it. But people don't have that honest conversation, and I think that ruins relationships. So I just have more empathy about the Ayesha situation. I'll let y'all get y'all ism.
I had empathy in general, but there's 2 things I want to say. One, you talked about, well, your partner may look better than you, and you may say, well, damn, I got
Or
lucky.
richer, status, whatever.
But that's where you start to improve in areas where they aren't present in. So if my
like you
mate,
add to their sauce.
if my mate
Instead of competing, I
if
should.
my mate is making 100, 200 million, but their physical fitness is off and mine is on, okay, let me go ahead and start posting more pictures of us possibly working out, or even let me just make sure that I get you up in this area so I can ensure that I'm being an aid to you and I'm not just being here. Because absolutely, if you just here not doing shit, collecting a bag, then hell yeah, my nigga.
That shit is gonna make you feel small,
husband.
bro.
I didn't even know that nigga was alive. I didn't even know she had a husband,
But
bro.
that's also the difference between like and love. When you love somebody, you're gonna pour into them. You're not just gonna take from them.
It's like, what the fuck do I gotta be insecure about? Like, no, nigga, I'm your cheerleader. Like, okay, you done gotta, like, and that's the, I'm gonna jump a little topic to topic here with my response, but it's kind of like when people be like, oh, if I make more than my man, I'm gonna treat him less than, or be. I don't give a fuck. Listen, if I'm making 10 million,
bitches on the internet.
if I'm making 10 million and you get a $60-70 million deal, gang, and I'm married to you, first of all, we got a $60 million deal. Before you got the deal, we had 10 million. You in this bitch reaching for my car.
And a lot of people don't have that mentality, bro, where it's a partnership.
You're supposed to be selfless.
Business.
You're supposed to be selfless.
To that point, though, like, you have to think, right? When you're married, it's one pot.
Right.
What's hers is his, what's his is hers.
Exactly.
So, granted, I don't know how Steph Curry feels about it, or if he says something about it publicly.
He never
Exactly.
Never did.
He probably does not care because they don't just put people on that show for free, right? The View is like one of the #1 shows on TV right now.
Ayesha.
I'm sure she got a bag for sitting on that show, and she's getting attention. Again, all publicity is good publicity. We're sitting here talking about it. They're getting clicks and all of that over it. They're making money off of her doing that.
Right.
And if he's secure in his self and in his marriage, he probably knows, she's probably just doing that to get attention on the show.
And how do we know that they don't joke like that behind closed doors?
Yeah.
Exactly. We don't know what they're talking about behind closed doors.
They gotta be straight,
I think
'cause they
that
never
he
be.
probably is like, you know what, hey, she went on there, brought a little extra bread into the household, cool.
Yeah.
But,
and she's catering to women mentality too.
True.
So.
But here's the thing. They are, whether if they admit it or not, they are influencers. And now you have little girls who look up to Ayesha Curry who is going to say,
That's
well,
an
damn,
interesting take.
I'm going to do the same
see that
fucking
being an
thing.
issue.
That is a huge issue. So yeah, okay, what's behind closed doors for them is what's for them. I can't pass judgment. If it worked, it worked. But what I do have a problem with is that you knowing that you are an influencer. And if you know that, whether if you signed up for it or not, don't go on TV.
But that's
we
the
also give too
hard
much.
thing.
Don't go on
We give too much
TV and do
credibility
stupid
to
shit
public
like
figures.
take your ring off jokingly, because as you already know, marriage in the black community specifically is at an all-time low. Rather if you want to try to admit it with the
It's increasing.
We are still the least married out of any demographic.
That's crazy work.
That's
nasty
and
work.
even on top of that, the narrative along with this nasty ass music, which is fuck bitches get money, fuck niggas get money.
Yeah, it puts a negative image on the women.
It's going to deter us from getting that ultimate goal of marriage anyway. So you got to be very careful with your status, whether if you know it or not.
But a lot of people don't care.
I get that, yeah.
A lot of people don't care.
But it kind of come back to like, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallions, where they're basically saying like, hey, my music was never built for little girls. That's not my audience. I'm talking to the grown women,
And that's fair.
grown and sexy, whatever. But basically, but I get what you're saying. You like knowing that you have this influence, you should watch what you do. But then they would never make the music that they
But
make.
why don't we teach? As a child, I never looked at a celebrity and said that's my role model.
Me neither.
So I don't understand why do we give them that much?
I did.
That much. I don't know.
Well, I gotta take it back to the 2010s. I gotta say that's a boost, nigga. That is a lie. And
Me?
for the younger generation who don't know what boost mean, you're lying.
They know what that is.
That was a boost. And let me say, it wasn't nothing like listening to fucking Dope Boys on the way to school.
But when
nigga.
did I ever sell dope? Because I
I'm
listen
not
to dope
saying
boys.
Right, but they didn't
I'm
influence
just saying,
you, though, right?
But they definitely
did I rock?
definitely influenced me
Oh.
because
They did.
Because
Alright.
I surely wanted to be like Payroll. I surely wanted to fuck calls like Keith. I surely wanted to talk my shit like Rock, rather if I knew it or not. Because I
That's
would
fair.
listen to
That's
that
fair.
shit first thing in the morning. I'm on tit for no reason.
Yeah.
The German
That shit
teacher,
made me wanna
the German
grind in my
teacher
own
trying
way.
to ask me what do ishadu mean. I mean, this bitch talking about nigga fuck calls get money, and I'm 14. So yes,
Right.
whether if I want to admit it, and even to this day,
Ayesha.
we are still influenced by that subconsciously. Most people don't want to admit
That's
it.
why I don't listen
but
to
you
the radio.
are.
Yeah.
You are absolutely influenced by this shit, which is why it is one of the most lucrative industries. Entertainment is one of the most lucrative industries that there is for that very given reason, because of the influence. I can make you buy my shit, even if that's not what you. Why do you think the joke is that girls who grow up in the church are so freaky because they get that first taste of Nicki Minaj or Lotto and all this other music and they say, damn, this shit feel a little good.
I also think it's
now
because
you got a new buyer because you're now listening to their music. They got a new stream. You've been closeted your whole fucking life. So to say that we're not influenced, whether if it's knowingly or subconsciously, is
Well, no, I don't. I think my point was more so. Some people with the platform don't care.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
Steph Curry's wife, she probably does not care what little girls think about what she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think she cares? She probably
Most
Obviously not. That's why she
entertainers
did it.
care about the money, not who they're influencing.
To your Christian freak point, I think they get like that because they monitor their libido to such a degree when they
So-
finally taste that first piece of orgasm.
It's a lot.
They become
It's a lot
addicts.
we can say about that, but
That's a good point. That's another topic.
One could make an argument that music is a catalyst to that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Or just entertainment is what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
entertainment in general.
This whole era, when you listen to the music, if you listen to the music, back in the day, I was just listening to something. They said, God bless you. You make me feel brand new. That shit, I was listening to that shit, bro. I wanted to get married when I heard that shit versus the music today. You working with some ass yet? When you listen to the music today, you would view every woman like you can't trust her, they ain't shit, these hoes ain't loyal, boom, boom, boom. It changes your entire frequency of how you view the divine feminine or your counterpart.
Right.
So the music
perfect.
is for sure, yeah, the music is changing how we are viewing the women. And that's why I give a little grace, but at the same time, I will say, going into the second topic, women have ruined courtship. And I say women have ruined courtship because they're adopting social constructs versus just looking at the person that they're with and trying to kind of build with that like that. Now we're all, let me set it up.
Equally as responsible.
And they are, because a lot of men are non-monogamous, acting like they are, and that's fucking trust up and everything else. But when I'm saying women is ruining courtship, if you come into it with the mindset of I'm gonna be honest and transparent, and the person across from you is either projecting what they're going through in the past relationships or taking all these social constructs, my man gotta have 6 figures, my man gotta be 6 feet, my man dick gotta look like an elephant trunk, pause. All of these ridiculous things that come from the world, you don't have the opportunity. You don't have the opportunity to actually have a foundation. I'm not going to say, I think, and we were just talking about this, I think women keep it real with their side nigga and not their main, because they want to keep the main. The man got money. The man cares about him for real. The side nigga, they don't really necessarily need to keep. Maybe he's fun, maybe he's good dick, maybe he's this, that, and the third. But the main nigga, they feel like if they tell the main nigga the truth, the main nigga's gonna get the fuck on.
It depends on your mentality because if you're serious about your main, there won't be a side.
Ayesha. But let's
Exactly.
talk about the real world. We're not talking about that idealistic
No,
shit you talking about.
That is the real world. If you're
50%
not
divorce rate in
serious-
America, I'm not trying to hear that shit.
No. Hold on, because I think you're losing her. What she's saying in general is that if you're not serious, you're gonna have those problems.
Yeah.
That's the thesis. If you're not serious,
Is work bae.
Is
We're
it-
not talking about physical cheating and sex all
Well,
the time.
yes, you're not
Emotional
serious.
cheating
It's the same.
is the same.
If not
And it
worse.
still happens with people who don't think they're cheating.
No. But if I put it like this, when you really care about somebody, you consider them.
Consider is the word.
Ayesha. But do people do that?
No, because they're not
Yes.
serious. If
Do
some
people
People do that.
Do
Do
but
people
I'm
do that? Now we're speaking.
but
No,
I'm
you remember
speaking
earlier when
from
I said I
somebody
spoke from
being
my
faithful.
experience, right? You said, "Oh, from my experience," and you said, "Yeah, that's great. That's great." And
I'm speaking
you're
from my
speaking
experience.
from your experience.
Which means,
do you see that in the world?
Which means that people are capable.
There you go.
You're capable. Individuals are capable. Do you see that in the world?
Yes and no.
That topic can be
That
spread
double-ass
with
answer.
That topic can be spread with anything. We're capable of doing anything.
I
Yeah,
just gave
that's
you a stat.
50-50.
51%, 800, and this was an old stat, 850,000 out of 2 million marriages end in divorce, and that was 2021.
So what is it?
So what
does
I'm
that mean?
trying to say is, I do not believe people are that considerate, transparent,
They're not.
or honest.
They're not, but they can be.
But yeah,
And
exactly.
What the fuck does that mean?
You choose.
If my aunt had a dick, she'd be my
You
uncle.
choose to be loyal. You
It's a
choose to
choice.
consider your person. If you in the work environment and you know you got some good, that would literally eliminate everything we just said about Ayesha Curry. everything we just said about her
If she
being loyal,
was.
everything we just said about being loyal, choosing, and the 51% would eliminate us saying that Ayesha Curry shouldn't be embarrassing Steph Curry by fake taking off her ring. You choose to do that.
That's a joke. I don't want to use that.
Well, let's
As an example.
take the joke out of it. If
Yeah.
I'm at work and my wife
go
is
ahead.
at home cooking, I done worked all these fucking hours. I'm finna come home to a good home cooked meal. Why the fuck am I entertaining this bitch Betty at work? What is she finna do for me? Okay, I got a couple jokes. Ha ha. I could joke with my niggas on the couch.
And then you get with Betty, and Betty ain't shit in
Yeah, what?
comparison
Yeah,
to
the
what you had
grass
at the
is
house.
not greener
Yeah.
on the other side.
That's why my pops tell me never sacrifice a lifeline for 5 strokes.
Yes.
Is it really that serious? Go beat your knee. Go get some post-nut
No, for
clarity.
real.
Go get some post-nut clarity. You gonna
And that-
realize
and that
Betty
comes
work
to
that
appreciation.
Betty don't make no more than $20 an hour in this society, which ain't shit after
And her
taxes.
spirit broken
And
as
your
fuck.
wife is at home chilling, making food. Same thing for the hoes. It's like yo nigga at home or just got done working, and you and this bitch entertaining the nigga at work. Ha ha kiki.
Plus, if that
Okay.
individual knows that you have somebody at home, what do that say about them?
Exactly.
That and then you lose them how you got them.
Exactly. That
But
same
it's
person.
not natural. Whenever these conversations come up, I always tell people it is not human nature to be in a monogamous relationship.
No,
that is
no,
not.
My nigga, hold up, my nigga.
Let me
Let me finish my point.
I've
Dylan.
been on both sides.
It's not natural. It's not human nature. It is not human nature for
And it's a
you to
choice.
be with. Yeah, it's a choice. It goes back to what I said. Nature versus nurture. We're told that you're a bad person if
See-
you're coming between a relationship. That's not human nature. Human nature is to go out and just procreate with as many partners as you
That's
can.
that university
That
shit.
sound a
You're
little bit
viewing that's
animalistic to
biological
me.
shit.
No, that is a
But
bullshit.
it's
Just go
fair.
out
That's
and
fair. That's
and
realistic.
spread
That's
your
true.
seed with
Bert,
everybody.
Y'all can't see the cameraman, Bert. I'm gonna just use you as an example, right? If Bert come over here and be like, Dylan, you talking that bullshit and smack the shit out of me,
What the
right?
fuck is you
This is
talking
not the
about?
same.
Go
If
ahead.
Bert,
That is
if
not the
Bert,
same.
if Bert comes,
It's not.
if Bert,
I've heard this
if
example.
Bert
Go ahead.
Comes and smacks the shit out of me,
Yeah,
right?
go ahead.
It is natural for me to feel rage. Imagine I had a gun in my pocket and I shoot you.
That's not the same thing.
Yes, it
though.
is because it's natural.
No,
it's
it-
natural
A
for me to
natural
feel
retaliation.
rage. It is
But you
natural.
have
You-
a
you
strong
go ahead and
urge
second
to
that
go
bull-
procreate.
If
That's
you
what
have
I'm
a
saying.
Second that bullshit because you on his side of the debate.
You
No,
have a
you
strong-
don't.
That's what
No,
we
you
would call a
don't.
reach. This nigga's Mr. Fantastic.
not a
Reed
fucking-
Richards, can you let him finish his point?
That's
Hold on.
Dylan.
He was speaking some ism that I would like to hear.
It comes back to the mentality of the individual.
No, it is not nobody. You can't
Reed
nobody
Richards, well done.
naturally. It is not human nature. And Dylan, you are crazy if you believe that it is
It's not
natural
human
to be
nature.
attracted to one
No
person
other
at one
mammal
time.
does that.
That is not natural
Thank
at
you.
all.
How you gonna
That
say
is why
we
people
gotta
have
get?
side pieces,
How you
people
gonna
do
say?
all
I
this
said it
other
was
stuff.
God
How you gonna
consciousness.
say we gotta
Okay.
get with our higher self?
I
and
said
then
it was
say,
God
you know
consciousness. I heard what you
Okay.
was about to say.
That's why
I saw
you
that
Can I say
bullshit.
something?
Let her
Can
say
I
what
say
she wants to say.
something? I just want to piggyback off of what you said.
Uh-huh.
And I want to go ahead and admit as a married woman that part is true.
Okay.
Where
Thank
you
you. That's
say
all.
that you can have multiple attractions, multiple likes, okay? But with marriage comes discipline.
Yeah.
And that is a self-taught thing. That is where you have to really identify with your inner spirit, your higher consciousness, and say, hey, because without God, there is no discipline. That's why people can kill each other. There's no God in that. That's why people can, go out and just procreate with any and everybody. There's no God in that. Okay? So the discipline is needed for marriage, aka that's why they say without God in marriage, it fails. And it's just the truth of
agree.
it. But it
Teacher.
doesn't take away from the natural instinct to be attracted
Teacher.
to different people.
Hold
But
on.
that is
Hold on.
That is
Hold on.
true.
No.
It's true. It doesn't take away the attraction.
Since you said God
But-
in scripture, right? The reptilian brain is real. The animalistic side itself is real. We're not talking about it from a lustful perspective. We're talking about it from a love perspective, right?
From a love perspective.
If we say with polygyny that it was possible to love and give provision toward more than one person, whether it was polygyny or polyandry, is that a dynamic that doesn't produce fruit if the people involved in it agree?
It does not produce fruit.
I'm asking her because that was hers.
I just feel like in a relationship, okay? Because I have to put it from my perspective,
Okay, fair enough. That's fair.
that when you really decide to go to that altar and take a vow under God, what you are saying is, yes, I understand what my nature is.
You believe in the scriptures?
Some.
Okay. Jacob, aka Israel, who is allegedly the progenitor of everybody that is black, had 4 wives, and that's the only reason we all exist. Hi.
Okay,
And my name is.
that's fine. That's fine. That's
Go
fine.
ahead.
But what I'm saying is, can that work in
this society?
in a partnership that is
No.
meant to be monogamous?
Why don't we just
yes,
go do it?
So yes, that's possible.
It's not possible in this society where we practice attachment-based love. If we got on our Eastern Hemisphere Rumi philosophy shit, I do think that most people would start to view this, like he said, as physiological and respect a person's free will to do what they do without encroaching on them.
Then what is the point of marriage then?
Yeah, like let's just
Because-
go do it. Let's just go fuck everybody.
But you're talking about lust
And
and
you-
But
animalistic
lust
madness.
is natural.
But
No,
you would be
see,
spreading
see,
yourself.
that's what I'm saying.
Lust
You're
is
reaching.
You
natural.
would
That's
be
not-
spreading yourself so thin doing that.
No, it.
Yes, you would.
You talking
Being
me?
If
attracted
you
to multiple
go
people is not
outside
lust.
right now, pick 10 random women,
I'm not-
put your seed into each and
We're
every one of
talking
them
about
based
a
off,
metaphysical
based
connection
off- based
of
on
mind, body, and soul.
the nature you're speaking
I'm not
on.
talking about 10 women
You would be spread
and wasting my.
thin.
Yes, of course.
Spiritually,
10 wives is a violation.
physically,
Solomon.
mentally,
Was it Solomon?
emotionally,
Solomon.
you
Yeah,
it was
would
Solomon
be
and
wasted.
David.
Yeah, no, David was tripping. But that's another
That
conversation.
nigga is true.
You would be
But that's the
completely
point
And I
of
agree,
nature
but
for
that's
you to
the-
lose your
you're-
energy
it's pro-
procreating.
No.
Yes.
That's too much university. That's all science with no spirit. Now I agree.
No spirit.
But
at all.
there is a spiritual connection that happens when you actually feel something that feels real.
Exactly.
And it's not based on love.
Which
It's not
is-
based in the sacred chakra.
And it's not. That is where having a true soulmate, a true spiritual
Is there a such thing as
partner-
multiple soulmates and multiple different timelines?
Absolutely. My
Okay.
child can be one of my soulmates.
That's a whole nother conversation. But
It
I
is.
say,
It is.
But what I'm saying is when you get married, that's who you should be marrying. Somebody who you feel connected with your entire spirit. And it doesn't mean that you can't be an individual. Doesn't mean that you can't be different. It doesn't mean that your commonality or similarities won't be, congruent, but it just means that in this universe, you understand me as an individual
I
without
respect
words.
that.
We can coexist in the same space, love each other, understand our nature, and still be together monogamously.
and I think you're idealistic and that's beautiful. Your heart chakra is big, and I hope that
I'm just saying,
that's my
I'm just
longevity.
saying that is a level of transcendence that humans are capable of getting to when they claim they really love someone.
All right, and how about this?
okay,
Not
I'll share.
only
I'll
you
say
spitting,
that.
how about this? We already doing that. You see where it got us? No fucking where.
And okay,
It got us no fucking where.
I
So
can
let's
point to
elaborate
open
on that.
marriages
Rolling Stone?
and monogamous marriages where
Father-
it failed.
Papa was a Rolling Stone. Where was the benefit in that?
Come on.
What was the
Now we
benefit
talking
in
about
that?
What did
broken
it do
homes.
for the family? Yeah, but why is it
that's-
broken?
why-
It's
is it
broken
broken,
because
Shane?
that dumbass nigga didn't protect his seed. He fucked the woman and just treated her like a cum bucket. The point is to raise them all up. I'm walking lockstep with all of them.
Bro.
Exactly. Okay, so the
Kings, we
wife,
African, we not with that
so
American
the wife
shit.
is the
Go-
base.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
That is who you
That's all I'ma say.
procreate with,
That's all I'm gonna say.
and then you build the
Just
family up.
just go procreate.
And I agree
Go
with
fuck-
that.
Go fuck everything and let's see where it get us.
I'm only pushing back on that. I actually agree with you. I'm only pushing back on that because I think there's more room to that conversation. I'm a pseudo-philosopher. I think there's more room to that conversation than people give it credit for because their feelings get hurt. I'd had a real conversation with a woman I sincerely love, and she was more attracted to another man than she was with me. And I asked her where the
That's
attraction.
possible.
I asked her where the attraction stemmed from, and the answer that she gave was righteous. I am not a simp. I can't be mad at her because I was doing me at the time.
What did she say?
She said essentially that it was carnal, it was animalistic, it was fleshly.
I slapped the shit out of the bitch. She told me some shit like
So
that.
it was physical.
Swear to God.
So, the fact that I was doing me, she wanted to get her lick back. I respected it, but
Just
that
natural.
is this reality. Does that mean that she doesn't care for me? Does that mean we don't connect?
But that's why I said
Does
I've
that
been
mean?
on both sides of the coin.
All I'm saying is there's a lot of nuance to the conversation.
There is.
And we need more time to do it. I'm wrapping soon, but there's a lot of nuance to that conversation that we don't have, in my opinion, because a lot of people are sensitive and get offended when the conversation of, you're not the only light that shines.
Okay, but look at it like this.
Okay,
Again, then that's the last thing I'm gonna say. As a married person, are there plenty of more beautiful women in this world
I don't
than
mean
me?
physically
Absolutely.
alone. Okay.
Is there women more successful? Absolutely. Is there women who are wiser, more outspoken,
Whatever
more
the thing
driven,
is.
whatever the thing is? Does that mean that my partner is gonna meet that person and just be like, you know what? F the spiritual bond that I have with this individual? No.
No, not if you made a covenant.
Exactly.
You're married.
That's why I can speak on it. That comes back down to
She just roasted a little
the
bit.
discipline that I'm talking about.
All right.
There's plenty of other people doing better, making more money, but I'm not gonna leave the person I put my spirit on the line and signed up to be with for life.
Ashe.
Because that's how much he matters to me.
Yeah.
Ashe.
And just to conclude on the nature versus nurture thing, or what's natural, is just because it's natural doesn't, depending on your belief, if you believe in God, so for my relationship.
My atheistic brothers.
Yeah, y'all can go to hell. Y'all don't believe in it no way, so I mean, shit. But just because something is natural doesn't mean that it's good for you. Self-preservation,
Exactly.
I agree.
tribalism.
I would agree.
Rage, anger,
There's a lot of-
hatred,
yeah.
sexual immortality.
that's what
just because it's natural does not mean that it is good for you. And for my people that's in the Bible, you understand that your heart will deceive you. But if you're not a believer,
you.
then so be it. Go do what you do and let me know how that works. But for the people that I know that's doing what they do right now, their life is shitty. And I know us as a whole, when we went away from our customs and our grandmother's prayers and our biblical standpoints, we fucked up as a society. Lowest divorce rate, we don't know where the fuck we stem from, crab in the barrel. So my point is, if you want to go live in your most natural state, go be a caveman.
Right.
Go have
No,
fun.
for real.
Here's
Tell me how
why
that work out for
Valid
you.
point.
The spectrum, you're going 0 to 10. The reptilian brain and the carnal version, the beast version of self should be controlled and tamed, obviously.
Absolutely.
But there is also a high vibrating, conscious version of what you're talking about when you say polygyny, and that's never talked about, and it is in the scriptures, especially in the Old Testament.
And all I say is,
also
go do it.
I want to add, I don't think anybody's saying that it's good or okay to do that.
I'm not having a moral conversation.
I think that you guys were sitting here asking, well, why do people do this? Why do people do that? Why do people go entertain their workmate, etc.?
Yeah.
Because naturally, you're going to be attracted to more than one person.
And I agree.
That's simply
Fucking
that.
thank you. You're having a metaphysical, fair conversation.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that was not the
You're
original.
married and in love, and this nigga is pretending like polygyny
No,
means
but
being
I
a demon
did
on
admit
earth.
that outside attraction exists. I'm not sitting here saying that
Yeah.
I don't have eyes to see other handsome men, because I do. But I am disciplined in
Right,
my
because the Bible
marriage where it
specifically
means
encourages you to
nothing.
take your eye out if you can't stop looking at somebody.
If you're in the spirit of reptilian brain, it does not say polygyny is
Well,
in the law of
listen,
Abraham.
go-
Polygyny
go
is not
do it.
outlawed.
Then go do
It
it.
has been done, and it's produced fruit.
Let's see how that got us as a people.
It created the whole
Exactly.
fucking seed line of our
We
lineage. What the
got-
fuck are you
Then
talking
let's
about?
keep doing it.
Poet,
Let's keep doing it.
Poet, we have free will to do many things. Does that mean that
I
we
just don't
should
like
use
Western
it?
Christians. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Does that mean that we should use it?
Free will to do what? If it's upright,
Exactly.
if two women
Exactly.
agree to walk lockstep with me, knowing that I am a king of Jacob, and I'm up, and I'm this, and I'm that, I am not abusing them. I'm not lying. They know about each other, and we live this sister
you're
wives.
not, okay?
But you talking about niggas.
But no.
Don't compare me to
No,
niggas,
no.
then.
I'm not comparing you to anybody. That's
Go ahead.
not what I was about to say.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, can you dictate how those two will interact when it comes to you? Because you got you together. But what about the dynamic between those two when they get in competition, when jealousy arises? These are the fine lines
Do I not have the
that
discernment
you have to
understand if these two individuals can't stay in the same abode?
You don't get to choose when that dynamic comes into place between them.
I think that you
Because-
underestimate the power of God body.
I'm not underestimating, but what if you reached it and they haven't?
Why would I fuck with them then?
I get what you're
Okay,
saying.
we're just on different sides of the spectrum.
But when you are dealing with something that has
And I'm not sold on that
layers to
future
it,
wife. I'm not saying I wouldn't be
I'm
monogamous.
just saying,
It's just this philosophical conversation between friends.
when you tap dancing on something that just treads a very thin line of a blow up, I'm just saying they
can
can
get-
be
it
where
can
you
get
are,
chaotic.
but it can get chaotic because it's just a very thin wall separating it from being disastrous.
And
That's
to
what
that
I'm saying.
point, jealousy
That's
is
the last point.
also natural.
It is
We
natural.
all experience it.
But is it beneficial?
No.
Okay.
No, but to your point
That's my
about how
point.
him not being able to control the dynamic, jealousy is natural because naturally we're thinking of survival of the fittest, and I get jealous of somebody
But
if I
it's
see if
not
they're more fit
beneficial.
to survive than I am, right?
And that's not
But
fair
it's-
to the other person. If you sincerely love them, if you love a flower, you don't pick it, you let it be what it is. If that's what they want.
But you don't get to
You sacrifice.
control when it comes or when it arises. Especially in a relationship where there's multiple people with multiple emotions constantly evolving, changing, revolving. Like,
So dip the fuck off and find a suitor and or a partner that's more aligned with what you want.
that's great, but it's easier said than done when you care about people, when you have that attachment.
Look, we're coming back to this. 'Cause
Okay.
that conversation
I'm just saying.
that because you're talking about I believe Americans are too emotional.
For the
and
dynamic
two,
that you want,
I think
yes.
they're overactive in their heart chakra and not seeing life on a spiritual level. He's speaking from almost a physiological level. He's speaking from a reptilian level. And you're talking basically about emotion. I am only talking about metaphysically whatever this thing, the spirit came to do to clear its karmic debt needs to be done so it can go.
And that's great in retrospect. But in the reality that we all exist in,
Okay.
how many of you have you met? Out of billions of people, out of your entire life, how many have you met who are just here with you? Is it a majority or a minority?
It is minuscule.
Thank you. That's my point.
This has been No PC Radio. I go by the name Black Poet. She kind of ate on that debate. I ain't gonna hold you up. If y'all got something to plug, please plug it.
Again, I'm Kairos. Love you.
Again, I'm Dylan.
Sylvester, you can follow me on Instagram too.
All that shit'll be in the drop down on the YouTube. She done got me thinking about so much philosophical shit. Next fucking episode, peace and love to the gods and the goddesses. Fucking A.
Yeah, she ate your ass up in the head.
She did.